Happy Tuesday. And have you ever found it difficult to change your life? Or like what keeps you from it? Like you know it needs to change, but it's almost like you get to the point and you just can't do it. So for today, I've got Psalm 78, verses 40 through 42. How often they rebelled against God in the wilderness and distressed him in the desert. Time and time again, they tested God, provoking the Holy One of Israel. They didn't remember God's power the day when he saved them from the enemy. So this is referring back to how God led the people, the Israelites, out of Egypt and how they were wandering in the wilderness and how their lives were in the midst of change, were in the midst of trying to go into something new and wonderful. And it was like they just couldn't do it. They couldn't allow themselves to finish that journey, to change, to stop grumbling, to make the necessary change in habits, the necessary change in perspective, the necessary change in attitude, so that they could fully embrace and know that transformation that God was bringing them into. And so for ourselves, do we ever struggle with that? Do we recognize it needs to change, but we're so comfortable in whatever it is that we're living in, even though it may not be great, but it's so hard to take those steps to get into a different place of perspective, to get into a different mindset. And so how might we begin to think about that today? Pray with me. Oh God, time and time again, you have shown the Israelites us love as time and time again they tested you, we test you, we say we want to change, we say we want transformation, but then we just kind of go back to our old ways. We continue to wander in the wilderness. We continue to want the transformation, but aren't willing to make the changes necessary. Help us, oh God, to remember that you are constantly with us, that you're constantly bringing us to new understanding, that you're constantly challenging us to change our lives so that we live more deeply connected to you, that we live in ways that we never thought possible. Help us, oh God, this day and every day to understand what we can do, what habit, what perspective, what action we need to change so that we might be fully in your transformation. Amen. Have a good one.